What is up, guys? It's DPX. Here with doing this a little later than I should have. I know, but new episode of Rick and Morty, season 4 came out. It's called "The Old Man in the Seat." It's sort of a reference to the book "Old Man and the Sea." Um, this is the second episode of season 4, and yeah, let's get right into this. So it was interesting. Justin Roiland said like there'll be some like non-related, like non-connected episodes in this season. I think this might have been one of them. Uh, Basically, it starts like the beginning is the only time you see the whole family together, and then like the whole family's eating dinner, and Gluty, a new character, comes who's like Rick's guy or something, and then he has printed onto his forehead, "Do not develop my app." We'll get into that a bit later. But then Rick goes to take a shit. He goes to his own little world, and there's a toilet just for him to take a shit. Yeah, that's where we are here. But it's that basically is like part of an entire story there, but it's about taking a shit, and somehow that got interesting. This show managed to take shitting and toilets and make it interesting. I give it extra props for that. Basically, he finds out that someone else has taken a shit in that toilet that is just for him. He goes searching around everywhere. Uh, he goes to this one, like, he scans, like, a bunch of, you know, shits to see who shat in his toilet. Oh, and there's a nice touch as well, because the song "My Shit" from Boogie with the Hoodie was playing, so that was a nice touch, as it's just called "My Shit." Um, it doesn't have to do with shit though, but um, it turns out the person who shat in his toilet shat because he had a sandwich. So he went to go find like this restaurant filled with like frogs, and hilariously like ran by a bunch of flies. He finds out from the fly, finds some new information. He enters in this war with like a bunch of crocodiles, and then he finds the shitter. His name is Tony, um, who wants to die. We'll get more into that later. And then on the other hand, sorry. On the other hand, we got the whole app thing called Love Finders. Yeah, which is actually kind of like an actual website I heard, and like you can hack into like the code, and it's got many quotes from Rick and Morty. Pretty cool. But basically, like you weren't supposed to have Gluty develop that app, but Jerry, he's a bit of he's a loser. He develops an app, or has Gluty develop an app, and you know Morty and Jerry try to they try to make they try to get Gluty to get with them to take down that app. And then on the other hand, because of that, what that app is, it's like pairs you with a random soul, with a random person who also uses that app, and that is your soulmate. That's how the app works. Um, so because of that, Summer keeps finding other random people, and Beth, the mom, is like not letting Summer do that. So then that shit happens, and that ends with a straight up fight between the two, between Summer and Beth, and that I'm like, whoa, okay, like the mother and the daughter fighting, like I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. Um, yeah, Now, eventually, they got the app taken down. Everything was better now. Jerry's a complete loser. Oh my god, he's just so funny how much of a loser he is. Summer stops like finding more soulmates because the app. Oh, I also I said it was taken down. It wasn't taken down. It was like it had a shit ton of ad walls. So yeah, no one wanted to use it. Um, so it got everyone to delete it. So yeah, and then Summer and Beth just make up, and the main thing here is the Rick and the toilet thing. He finds Tony, and basically there's a whole ton. There's like a bunch of friction between the two. I don't want to get too much into it because this is a review, not a a breakdown. But I don't want to get too much into it. But basically, Tony wants to die, and his wife died. Rick denies like being friends with Tony, and then it turns out like he's trying to like discipline in a way. He's trying to like fuck over Tony, but then Tony's like turns out he died. He's trying to catch Tony, and Tony died. I saw this in this one review. Compared it to the book The Man and the Sea, where someone's trying to like catch a marlin. For like it's like someone's really trying to catch a marlin, and then the marlin gets killed by a shark. So now it's sort of like this. Rick is trying to like catch Tony and shit, and then he dies. So then Rick goes to the toilet and um and a bunch of like Rick holograms are there, like shaming Rick as if he was Tony. And yeah, this kind of shows Rick's loneliness, and how like you go in the first episode of this season, Morty straight up killed him like by accident, but still, and like he also pushes people away. Like he denied Tony being Rick's friend. Like yeah, this season's starting to say a lot about Rick. Um, so yeah, so that's a summary, a quick little summary of the episode. Again, explaining Rick and Morty makes my brain hurt. I guess my IQ isn't high enough, but I still watch this show. It's really good. Anyways, um, if I were to knock it down from being like a 10 out of 10, because I wouldn't call this a 10 out of 10. Not that like it's really bad or anything. It was pretty good. It's just a weird episode. Like the whole plot of shit and shitting. Like Rick goes to a separate like world to shit in peace. I wish I can do that. Like every time like you should like when I was in like middle school, people would fuck with you in the bathroom. If I can like do that every time, oh my god, that would have been awesome. I'm sorry. But yeah, it it's pretty weird. It's a weird, plot. But it worked. But still weird and got straight up disturbing at points. Not to mention there were like a lot of references to like other things. Like the beginning was like I'm gonna go on a solo adventure and I don't need Ron Howard here. Uh, a reference to the Solo movie because it's called Solo. I'm also Solo, by the way, and Ron Howard directed it. Yeah, many references like that. You should watch the episode and see how many references you can point out. That was it. Like the whole weirdness of the episode, sort of like it was also like it had nothing to do with anything. Which yeah, we know we're getting some of those, but still a little like I don't know, just it doesn't. I feel like it should be connected to other things, you know. This episode sort of just happened. It's probably not going to affect the rest of the season. In conclusion, Rick and Morty, Season 4, Episode 2, The Old Man and the Seat, is a pretty fun episode. Just like the rest of this season, the whole one episode of this season, one other episode. But, you know, the whole show is pretty fun. Even some of its worst episodes are pretty fun. But this one's pretty fun too. It's a little weird and a little annoying how it's not really connected to anything. But you can look past that. So in the end, I give Rick and Morty, Season 2, Episode 4, The Old Man in the Seat, an 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. You should watch it. If you like this show, of course. So that was my review for Rick and Morty episode, The Old Man in the Seat. Be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Not agree with me? Be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.